Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube?
What's up out there, everybody?
This is SEL 0320.
Yeah, it's your boy Joe Johnson 030.
So, we're back.
Yeah,
For a brand new review for a new episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Because last week's episode, we didn't have one. But we still did do a Talking Dead, which is pretty good open discussion we had about the progression into the 6th season for the new season for The Walking Dead. But we didn't talk anything Fear the Walking Dead. But tonight's new episode was called, I think, The Dog. I think that was the name of the episode. But what were your thoughts on tonight's episode, Joe?
It was pretty good. I think I had a good build up. Probably my favorite moment in the episode was when they were looking out over the cityscape and it was a blackout going on in the city. That's probably my favorite moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing we'll say about our review for this, there's going to be some spoilers here and there, just because we're going to be doing a full Talking Dead episode. It's going to be episode 4, I think, for us. I'm a little sick, as you can kind of tell. I'm not feeling 100%. So Joe's going to be the main moderator for tonight's Talking Dead. But I really like this episode, actually. I liked it more than the first two, to be quite honest with you. Reason why is because the stakes were actually really real. When you realize that when Travis, with his other ex-wife and his son there, his son's finally getting the grasp of the situation. His son's not being stupid and vain because he's looking for himself and seeing it's not just a riot going outside. There's serious impending danger. And what are we going to do? And so the panic starts ensuing. But one of the things that I had brought up from the beginning of the episode is that there's going to be a point where Travis is going to have to make a choice between protecting one family or the other, and the dynamics of what kind of person really he is. He seemed to me to be a really good person, and he is. But there's a part in the episode where Madison, she finds one of her neighbors who knew her, and basically she had turned, and Madison about to take a hammer to him, about to pull a freaking Tyrese on her, because she feels as though she shouldn't be left like that. I think when her situation she had at the school, it made her realize the serious situation. Not just that, she had to take the life of a person she already knew already. So she's kind of gone through that process. So was Nick to an extent. But basically Travis stops her. And the Latino man, the older gentleman, he looked at him, he's like, yeah, that's weak, And I mean, in all honesty, that literally transferred later on, because she was talking about basically the prospect that the lady's husband, what if he was there, what if he got bit, we don't know where he is. He comes back, and because Travis basically kept her from killing this lady, she basically was about to kill her husband, and it all plays into the effect of, is Travis going to be a good lead for this group, or is Madison? You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to come down to that. I think you had even said, you and Jarrell had said that Madison could end up being the OG of this. Madison keeps on making these stupid decisions, because I think part of her, I'm understanding now that she wanted to keep an invisible wall from shielding Alicia, her daughter, from understanding the situation. They went in there, they were playing Monopoly. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing playing Monopoly in a situation like this when Travis told y'all to go to the desert? She's going and trying to get medication for her son, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not something that he's going to have useful to him at a certain point, you know what I'm saying? Why are you even... She's trying to keep a facade until basically all the blinders go off. Maybe from what we now realize is that her husband died. We don't know the gravity of what happened, but she knows tragedy. And she knows destruction that comes from that. And so I think in her perspective is that, all right, I need to ease them, I need to spoil them, keep them shielded from anything so that when it does come, it can come easily to them. It doesn't. You need to know, And Alicia finally gets an understanding of the situation, so does Travis's son. And I like that. I like that about this episode. It was really serious. I actually really like the Latino fan. I think they're just being stupid. What are some things you liked about the episode?
I mean, in this episode is actually, all of them are pretty much, if not 100%, maybe 80% of the speed of what's going on. Basically, there's this infection or disease or whatever is coming around. Some of them kind of in denial, or whether or not these people are actually dead or they've died before being infected, which is actually the case. But I think they're, like Travis even said, he was explaining to his son, he was like, yeah, these people are sick. And I'm like, they're not necessarily sick, you know what I'm saying? They're actually, they're dead, you know? It just happened that they're, you know what I'm saying, their body's back to life and they're like, you know, pretty much hostile.
Yeah.
So that part is not really clicked with Travis. But some of the other characters, you know, it has.
Yeah.
But all of them, you know, they're pretty much aware of, hey, there's this danger outside. There's this danger going around. You know what I'm saying? If you see someone acting strange, you know, they will attack you. At least they know that.
Yeah, and they won't die.
Yeah.
Like, if they shot, like, they won't go down. They'll come right back. You're right, because I think the fact is that Nick understands. Even like Madison really understands. Alicia, she's kind of like in denial, and I mean, I guess that's more reason why Madison probably should have kept it from her, because she was like, no, my boyfriend this, no, my boyfriend that. There was a point in the episode where Travis's son tries to protect her. She gets all offensive and knocks him in the nose. I'm like, what the heck? She almost gets killed. There's a lot of scare tactics in this one. One thing I love about this series, it is different from The Walking Dead. From a visual standpoint, from the dynamics of how people go. But one thing stays consistent, that these zombies will kill you. And one scene in this was really gruesome. Oh my gosh, like I saw a zombie's head, like parts of it get flat off like this. And then you see the rest of it pop out. Like, I mean, I was like, okay, this is The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real. This is really going down. I'm just curious to see where things are going to go, because I worry that if Travis really is the leader, and Madison seems like she's submitting to him for the moment, but if anything happens to either one of her children, she's going to take charge. She's going to do what she has to do to protect her children. Regardless, I think that she would do that before Travis would. And what I worry is that, and we'll talk about it more in Talking Dead, or I'll at least bring it up, is that what if the time comes that something happens to his son or his ex-wife because of him and his naivete with the situation? Like, then he like, okay, now I understand. Like, they got bit, they die, they disintegrate right in front of him, they burn out, and then they're coming back. What are you gonna do? This is not just an infection, like this person is gone. And I think it's gonna probably take that for him to get that realization. The problem with that is when good people go through something like that, you're gonna have the weird situation that's gonna happen. And I worry about that. Like, I think that Madison, I don't know, there's something wrong with Madison. To be quite honest with you, the way she was kind of staring at her neighbor, I was like, yo, she's got some shame in her. Like, something up with this chick. Like, it's interesting. And the only thing I worry about now is that Nick is his abuse issues. I love his character, and not so much in this episode because he didn't really do much. But he might be more of a hindrance than a help at this point, just because of his addiction problems. But all in all, I give this episode 8.5 out of 10, or 9 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed it. What's your closing thoughts, Joe? So we can get ready for this Talking Dead.
I give it an 8.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, I give it an 8.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get more details, but in our opinions, our like feedback, or whatever, in discussion. So
yeah,
check that out.
Yeah, so come check us out. The Talking Dead. We're about to start that up at roughly around like 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, or if not 10:30. I doubt we can do it at 10:30. We got to render this video that you're watching. But thanks everybody for watching. Keep me lifted up in your prayers as far as my sickness is concerned. Like I said, I'm not going to be moderating. Joe is going to. This Talking Dead. But thanks everybody for watching. This is JVS. Have a rest one. Later, y'all.